Hey y'all, it's Cassie again. So, I don't know about everybody else, but the energy here lately has seemed very heavy. Very heavy. For me, it has been super heavy. And to be honest, I think that I am being called to share my testimony. I literally went the longest time without posting a video. And, you know, it's been hard. And I don't even feel like it's because I don't want to be seen. I don't even feel like that's the reason why I haven't posted one. It's literally just, I feel like I don't know what I should speak on. So, in the last year, I think it's been almost a year since I've been on this spiritual journey. And throughout this whole year, I have gained a lot of knowledge. And so I have all these things going through my mind, and I can't even decide which ones I want to share. I don't know. The energy is it's been a little weird. And I can't even put my finger on what it is. But I feel called to kind of share my testimony with y'all. So, my life did start out a little rough. When I was a kid, I feel like I was shut down a lot. I was told to just do what everybody else is doing and to just be okay with being okay. But now I don't want that. I don't want that anymore. And I don't know how many people feel like that. I grew up thinking that everybody felt the way that I did. I grew up thinking that everybody seen the world the way I do. But the truth of the matter is I don't think anybody does. We all have a different perspective on life. And, we're all different in our unique ways. And I think that's really beautiful, actually. I think it's really beautiful to be different because then we can come together and collaborate our ideas and then create a whole new path, we don't have to be stuck in our ways so much that no other ideas can come in. Because really, that comes down to evolution, I believe. I believe that, the way we evolve is taking on different ideas. I don't think there's anything wrong with being different. I used to think that I was so different, okay? I didn't really fit in, I felt out of place most of my life. I never really felt completely accepted. And I didn't have very many friends, I've always kept my circles very small. And, I thought it was just because I was being protective, I was being protective of my heart, and because I have been hurt a lot in my life, and no one likes to hurt. Well, anyways, I was just, yeah, it was rough when I was a kid, when I was younger. But I look at the world so much differently now than I once did. Before when something would happen, I, would say, oh, well, I just have terrible luck. And um, that's not the way to go about it. It's really not, because we really do make our own reality by the words that we speak to ourselves, and that's why self love is so important nowadays. It's so important to love yourself because how you speak to yourself is like the deep feelings of what the world is going to show you, because that's how you feel on the inside. What you feel on the inside is what's going to show on the outside. So what I like to say is inner work creates outer work. I think that's really beautiful. Like that's beautiful to me. And so, yeah, for the past year, I've been doing a lot of inner work. And I truly have been blessed for doing that inner work, for doing that inner healing, because I definitely needed it. I needed it. Confirmation. I don't know if you heard that, but somebody was backing out at my neighbor's house. Anyways. But yeah, I started doing that inner work, and then things started kind of falling into place for me. Like, I was truly blessed. So let me start this by saying at like a year ago, I was with a man who was a narcissist. And I stayed with him for about 10 years. I've literally come out of the darkness and into the light. Like, my journey, it hasn't been easy. But I'm finding that going through the darkness is not as bad as we like to think it is. Yeah, it sucks going through certain things, and sometimes it feels like it could literally break you. But honestly, we never go through something that we won't make it through. It's hard though. It is really hard. But once you change your perspective on things, life gets a lot easier. When you change it to this situation that I'm going through is just trying to teach me something. It's just trying to get me to realize something within myself. When you look at it differently, like it's playing a part to serve your life, that's when everything changes. Honestly, my life has become magical even. Like, I'm not even playing. It really has. So anyways, a year ago, I was going through a really rough time, and I'm not gonna lie, I was there about to, just lose it. I was about to lose it. And I started crying out for help. I cried out for help a couple of different times. I was literally screaming at the top of my lungs in my room, because I was just done. I was literally done. And what I had thought was that I was yelling that for the people around me. I wanted them to know, like, hey, listen, I'm at a breaking point, and I need this help. Like, I need some kind of help right now. But that's not who answered me. At the time, I was a little confused on who did answer me. It was God. God answered me. Universe answered me. However you want to say that. I personally say God because I believe that God is within us. And when I first started this journey, I didn't even know that. So for those of you that don't know that, God is within us. That is why the Bible says, He created us like Him, in likeness of Him. We each have a piece of God in us, and so when I called out for that help, I knew it was God that had answered me because I just felt this peace wash over my whole entire body. I was hysterically crying at that point. Nothing. I just felt peace. I felt love. I felt embrace. And it was literally one of the most amazing feelings I've ever had in my life. I'm telling you, there was nothing like it. There's nothing like it. And then a little while after that, I felt like, and still to this day, I can't really explain it in the greatest way, but nowadays I can say that I think it was my crown chakra opening. Whoever knows. But it was my crown chakra opening, and I just felt like this wind either leaving the top of my head or it was coming into the top of my head. That's the only way that I really know how to explain it. It was unlike any feelings I have ever felt before in my life, and at that point I knew that there was something bigger than me going on. There was something bigger going on, and I wanted to know what it was. I've always been interested in knowing things, like I want to learn. I'm open to learning. And, just because you have certain beliefs put in place doesn't mean close off to anything else outside of that. We should always stay open. And that's where discernment comes in. You have to discern what's right for you and what's not. Because, what's for you may not be for the next person. It's one size does not fit all. That's just not how the world works. And literally, life has changed so much for me. I'm telling you, dramatically. I have changed my mindset. I have changed even my physical appearance. I literally look different, y'all. I have physically changed, and which is just mind-blowing to me. And I would have never thought, it was possible, but it really is. It really is. But that's also where self-love comes in, you actually appreciating your beauty and how powerful we actually are. We are such powerful beings, so powerful. We literally create our reality. I mean, just the other day, we went to this wedding, and we were helping them with cleanup, and I didn't expect $100, but for some reason, $100 got placed in my mind. And at the time when I thought about it, I don't even know if I linked it to the wedding and helping out with that, but for some reason, $100 just came up in my mind. We ended up getting paid $100 to help clean up after this wedding. And, it was just wild, and I want to call it, manifesting that. I want to say that I manifested that, but, I'm not even actually sure what it was. I just know that it was really amazing, and I thank God for it. You know, I thank God for everything, because there's no way that I lived my whole life. I'm 31 years old, y'all, and I lived 30 years of my life not even realizing just how special life really is. Life is so much bigger than what we think it is. You know, a lot of people, including myself, the past me, just thinks that we're just here to work. Like, we're just here to be slaves. What? No, we're not. We're not made to just work and then come home and get to relax a little bit and then go back to work. Most of us aren't even being paid the right amount that we're supposed to be paid. And you know, if someone's angry about this, I don't really care. I'm bringing out the truth, okay? And I know a lot of people believe the same thing. It's like, we are not meant to work our lives away. We are meant to enjoy this time. We are meant to find ourselves, find our souls, like truly embrace what our souls want. We're not here just to work a job, and that's what most people think life is about. Like, so I can remember right before I went through my spiritual awakening, which was the air thing that happened to my head and the peace that washed over me. Like, right before that, I can remember just thinking, what am I doing with my life? Like, what is actually going on? Is this all I'm meant to do? I started questioning it. I started questioning, is this really what life's about? Am I really just meant to work and work and work and break my back just to make some money? I mean, literally, I started questioning it. And the moment that I started questioning, is this all that I'm meant to do in my life, was when things started shifting. We should always be asking questions about things. You know, I think we should always question. Why do we believe what we believe? Why do we do what we do? Why do we live life the way we live life? Why? Why? Always ask why, okay? Some people will tell you, don't question the process, just go with it, just be grateful that you have what you have, just be grateful, that, which I'm not saying, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying don't be grateful. Because we should be grateful for our lives. You know, we should be grateful for the simple fact that we're here. I mean, my deep belief, nowadays at least, is that we are all spiritual beings. And when we are in that spiritual realm, we have no wants or needs. So when we come here to earth, we are here to enjoy our lives. Okay, that is one of the reasons that we are here. We are here to enjoy the wants of life, the fruits of life. I mean, it is gorgeous. This place is beautiful. And I know it may not always look gorgeous and beautiful. You know, we go through things. But the things that we go through, there's a reason to it. It serves us. You know, I came out of darkness. I feel like I was born in darkness. Like, and I'm not saying that I have had the worst life and that my life is worse than anybody, which, by the way, I mean, I feel like in the past couple of years, I've heard people literally compare like whose life is worse. That's just crazy to me. That's crazy to me. Because I'd love to have a great life. I'd love to have a happy life. You know, I want to be happy. Which, Nowadays, I am so grateful for being happy, you know, because for the longest time, I wasn't happy. But it's because I was paying attention to the wrong things in life. I wasn't paying attention to what's important. I was paying attention to get a job and work to have things that you want, because all these material things, they're not going to come in by themselves. You know, I want to look pretty, and I want nice clothes, and, you know, all that stuff. Like, I want to impress somebody. Why do we care about what other people think? Why? I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I've been there. You know, I've done that. I've totally worried about what people think, and you know, wanted to live my life compared to what somebody wanted for my life. Why do we do that? Because what somebody wants for their life isn't going to be the same as what you want for your life. It's not going to be the same. We don't have the same paths. Everybody's put on this planet for a reason. We all have a role. We all have a reason why we're here. You got to find that reason. And that takes a lot of inner work. It's going to take a lot of inner work and a lot of soul searching. And I mean, no one said it was easy. It's definitely not. But, I mean, you literally got the choice between hard and hard. But which one is really going to fulfill you? Well, it's not working a job, I can tell you that much. It's not working a job and working up the chain and the ladder, whatever you want to call it. That's not fulfilling. I mean, there are literally people who are literal millionaires. But, you know, most people that you ask that are rich, they don't have the perfect lives either. They'll try and act like they do, but they're not fulfilled. They're not fulfilled the way that you can truly be fulfilled once you start doing that inner work, once you actually start searching for what your soul wants in this life. Because we literally, we are just embodying the soul. Or the soul embodies us, however you want to say that. We are doing for our souls, though. And that's why most people don't, you know, find that true happiness, is because they're searching outside of themselves. They're searching for external things, you know, and they're trying to fill this hole with external things, and it's just not what we're meant to be doing. So I can't wait for everyone to be able to, because, you know, I've been praying for this world to come along and not be so materialistic oriented, okay? Like, I've been praying for the new earth. I've been hearing it everywhere. I don't know about y'all, but I've been hearing it everywhere. It's important that we reach this new consciousness because we need it. We need it. I mean, if you want to be part of the change, please do. Please do your part, okay? Because I am trying to do my part. There are a lot of people trying to do their part. And when we all come together and we're all fighting for change, that, my dear, is when it starts changing. And I am so excited for it. I don't know about you, but I am so excited for it. I mean, literally everything inside of me tells me that this change is coming. It's coming, and it's coming fast. Ooh, getting the chills, okay? Getting the chills. But I love y'all. I pray that we can all come together and make this shift, make this change. I am going to try so hard to come back and make more videos because this is important. I want to make a change in this world. I don't know about you, but we do need the change. So anything that you can do, anything that lights your soul up and just makes you feel like, yes, I want to do that. Because, like, it's changing the world. Even just thinking about it, even just changing your thoughts to, just wanting to do more for the shift, for the change of this world. Even just the thoughts are helping other people's consciousness. We are all interconnected. And when we all start working together, ain't nothing gonna stop it. We all the way up. Anyways, have a great day, and I pray that you help us in this change.